Welcome to a new day in Empyrion Galactic Survival, and this is most likely going to be the last part in this series on the Alpha 10 experimental release, simply because they've now released the candidate update into the experimental branch, and the candidate update is the final release model for the full release to go into the stable branch. And they've also now announced that the planned release date for that is the 17th of June 2019. So we're not that far away. I mean, today's the 14th of June, so we're only 3 days away from a possible full release. And what I really want to do is start a new Let's Play on the Alpha 10 update, simply because I've got a few ideas and I want to, well, push the envelope a little bit, experiment with base attacks. So this, as I say, this is most likely going to be the last part in the series, but I still want to work on my hover vehicle, partly as practice for when we actually get into the proper Alpha 10 update. Now, before I get into doing any building, what I want to do is talk about what was in the final release candidate. It consists mainly of tweaks. There's no new big functional changes, so the core functionality that is now in place is what is going to go into Alpha 10. They've made some tweaks to the texture color tool, and I think they've improved the way the selection process. They've done a bit more balancing on base attacks. I think the Xerax attacks now focus on turrets to destroy those rather than just going straight from the base. I think they've also changed some of the strengths of the way that the tools work to capture the base. They've also worked on some changes which they call in the O2 update. I think this is to do with the fact that when you've got a base that's got a ventilator, if the ventilator is obstructed, then the oxygen doesn't get distributed. And I've noticed it occasionally on my bases. You have a part of the base which you think is airtight, and it tells you that there's no air in it. They've also introduced, quite interestingly, a thin ventilator, which could be quite good to look at. So that could be quite useful as well. And I think that's about the main changes. And of course, there's a whole list of bug fixes and other changes. For any of you guys who are interested, I will put a link in the video description that will take you to the release notes for that final candidate release. So what we're going to do in this part is work on my hover vehicle. It's still got a little bit of work to do. I mean, we've got the core in place. We need to swap over some resources from this hover vehicle over here. So I think what we're going to do is pop that down. I mean, we've built the thrusters that we need, but I'm not going to put those on just yet. We've got some engines which we need to work on. But of course, what we're going to need to do is pull off some of the components from here, and including the fridge. I'm a bit inclined actually to, we can't, is actually make another fridge, but we would have to power off the ship. Yeah, let's just make another. Oops, don't want that. Let's go in there. Yeah, I think we're going to use the small constructor here, and we're going to make another fridge. I've got quite a lot of resources. Oh, why is that? Oh, I've already pulled out everything from it. Okay, maybe we're not going to make another fridge. And we've got a whole load of stuff in here which needs to be pulled out. Can I do the swap? The trouble is I really need to pull off the power supply. I think probably the easiest way to do this is I can come into here. And of course, unfortunately, we can't get to the portable constructor directly, which is a real pain in the neck, but I think what we're going to do is just hook all this out of here and put it in our inventory. Wow. Well, and I think what we can do is just shove all this into here. I mean, some of it may perish, but I mean, that's the way it goes. There's not much I can do about it. I mean, I could tell it to, I mean, we can't make any special food here. Well, I mean, we've got some, we could probably make 10 of those, and that will preserve the meat if there's enough meat there. So that now means that this ship is available to be disassembled. And going to do first is, get there. And we're going to retrieve the antenna. Where did I put the fridge? Might as well get the fridge out as quickly as possible. Oops, what is that? Oh, that's probably because I've got a couple of bits and pieces still in there. Why you keep gold in the fridge, I've got absolutely no idea. And hopefully, I don't want the small constructor. I want is the fuel tank. And there's the other generator, so we're just going to take that generator out. I'm just going to get over here. What I'm going to do is put that on and put the fridge on and put the shotgun away. Maybe we can fit the antenna in as possible. I would like to keep the pattern going at the fuel tank. That's the fuel tank, so we're going to put that there. I should have known because whenever you put the generator down, it goes like that. And I think we'll drop that in there. Put the fridge in there. So we've now got the ship's power capabilities put together. And what we should be able to do is come in here and devices, fuel, manage. And what we can do is put a little bit of fuel in there. I have to go over here. To put this a bit closer, shouldn't I? Okay, so that's actually making the meat. So what we can do is look out everything else. We've got 7, so we can. That's going to stop. So I'll have to do it in 2 goes. I mean, I always hate wasting food. I'm not sure why. Oh, we're gonna have to make a wireless connector as well. So, oops, put that in there. Alien Thorn. Well, we can leave in there for the moment. Just gonna drop that in there. Mushrooms. Yeah, we're too far away at the moment, so we can't really anything. Let's press this, that in there, so we managed to preserve the food. The next thing I would like to do is put. I don't think I can make a wireless. Actually, I can't remember if I've actually unlocked the wireless connector. Yes, I have, and that has to be made in the small constructor. So we're gonna have to put some resources on here so we can use the small constructor on here. Okay. The question is, where would I put the thrusters? I'd like to encase them, so maybe if I put them along there. Let's just get down over here. Whip out those 4 thrusters. I mean, I can't make anything else here, can I? I mean, we've got the. Not sure why I'm lugging that around. Maybe we can start to put on a couple of the ordinary thrusters. I think we'll start putting one there, one there. I mean, it's a fairly standard pattern. We've now got that area there, and I mean, I could put these here, or I could tuck them underneath like that. That'd be, I don't know, maybe put one here, one here. And that gives me the reverse. I want to put in the extended storage here, so which means I would probably want to line things up in between, maybe go down a little bit. So if I and put one, maybe two there. Oh, can't remember what I did. Yep. We put another one. I mean, I can always change things should I want to. What's that? Oh. Got those there, there, and there. Now, I don't really want to put the two thrusters on the back because I don't know how far this ship's going to go back. And of course, we need to make space for an ammunition locker. So, yeah, I think what we're going to do, I got some blocks. Let me just get over here. Sorry, I keep running back and forwards to here. I put some blocks in here. Yeah, I've got some blocks. Okay. Just grab this. What I'm going to do is drop a carbon composite block in there, and then what we're going to do is bury the antenna in there, and then what we can do now for the problem oh yeah, we can take off the small constructor, put it down the spine at the back of the ship here. Yeah, I think that will work. So what we're going to do now is just grab this for, and we're just going to retrieve the small constructor, and don't really need the cargo boxes. Where's the controllers then? Why can't I see the controllers? Oh, there they are. Just going to take off that controller and oops, get out of the way, ventilator. Going to take out that controller. Oops, what was that? Oh, why have I got? Oh, there must be some fuel left in the controller. Okay, not a problem. And right, we're going to hook up that and that. I think I'm going to put the. My instinct is put that across the back like that, and then what we could do is put in, maybe put the thrusters. I like the idea of having the thrusters on the common plane, but the problem is that is going to be the base. Actually, what we could do is drop the thrusters in on this area here. Oops. Like that on each side. Of course, what we're going to need to do actually is cut the thrusters off, because we don't want to consume the fuel. So that actually, I mean, that's going to make it a little bit wider than I was hoping for. And then what we can do is put one container controller in there, one container controller in there. So that now, and then we can back over here. Oops. Okay. Jumping all over the places, guys. what's up with this? Okay. Grab that, grab that. We're not going to take the cargo boxes. They're a bit of a waste of time, to be honest. So, I'm just going to grab this. Like that. Fly over here. What we got? Got 14, so we can put 7 aside. And I think we're going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, that 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've now got this built in here, and I'm just going to take that out. And what we need now to do is transfer some resources into the ship, and just here. I suppose what we should do really before we do anything is see if it actually flies. It'll fly terribly because it's not finished. I mean, we need to put some blocks underneath. I suppose let's see if it does fly. It actually does help if why is that moving backwards? Oh, because I haven't got the thrusters on. Bit of a fail there on my part, guys. Yep. So just jump in, put the thrusters on. Let's get some height. It's nice to be able to fly at 3 meters. I mean, it's not brilliant. Let's just the wait a bit. Actually, see. I mean, I want a flat platform on the back because if I don't need it because we'll be starting the game. But what if I was going to go forward with this campaign? I would widen the ship out a little bit so that I can put 2 turrets on the top, because I think having turrets is going to be very important for taking down any Xerax patrols. Yeah, it's not going to win any awards, but I think we'll be okay. I'm not going to go back onto the landing pad because I might as well put the ship close to where I am at the moment. We're just going to fly in here, land a little bit here, like that, and might as well turn the thrusters off, save a bit of fuel. And what we're going to do is look out. Under silicon. You'd always be very short of silicon. I'm not too sure why, but I mean, we're down to 6 silicon ingots again. That should be enough though to make a wireless connector. Let's just, not sure why I'm pointing at the. I'm just going to drop that in there, and of course what we're going to have to do is come to the. I'm just going to auto group for the moment, just so that I can find things. And I'm just going to hook you there, you out, and we're just going to bump out a wireless constructor. We've got plenty of steel plates, so let's make another 6 of those while we're at it. Okay, oops, keep forgetting I can't do that. A1, and what we're going to do now, the advantage of having the wireless constructor is that it means now that, just to give you an example guys, if I walk right over here now. I can still access this area here. Actually, let's have a look at weapons. So, seeing we're messing about, tools. More scanner. Yeah, we've got a color texture tool. That requires a small constructor. Okay. We might as well, seeing what we're going to do, we might as well see if we can. Where's the new? There it is there. We need electronics and nanotubes. Okay. That means I probably haven't got the silicon. Yeah. We've got entry magics. Oh, this is annoying. When we got armor locker, I mean that onto the ship. Yeah. Oh, that's really annoying. We got iron ore. We got some silicon ore. If we drop some silicon in there, that might be enough to. We just F4. That in there and see if it will. Where is it? Oh, nanotubes. Ah. Yeah, my fault, guys. Nanotubes needs carbon substrate. So I'm just gonna pick up some of that. And what was it? Cobalt alloy. Yeah, I think that should be enough. So drop the carbon substrate in, and let me just put the. I think we can drop the. I think if we put it, turn you around like, actually no, put that like that, so that's got a narrower front, so that will fit behind like that. And what was I doing? Okay, do a small constructor. There we are. This is the new color texture tool. To pull out the my instinct is to maybe put three on each side like that, so that, I mean, it's going to make this ship a lot wider than I would normally do, but I do want those turret gun platforms, or I would want those current gun platforms. Okay. And the other thing I want to do, guys, actually, as you can see on the right hand side, we've got a mission to make a chainsaw, so I'm just going to make a chainsaw. Okay, okay, we've got no electronics. Okay. Oops. Game, you are starting to irritate me a little bit. Let me just see here. Can we make a chainsaw in the small constructor? Yes, we can. I just want to get that mission out of the way. I just thought I just saw a creature out the corner of my eye there. I just want to make that chainsaw, and then we'll go and harvest some wood. Actually, I've got a chainsaw, haven't I? Yeah, I've got a chainsaw. Let's go and do this. I'm just curious to know what the next step in the mission is going to be. Now, when I do a restart, I'm not going to be following the tutorial. So that's it. It's time to start building your base, Commander, yes. Okay, thank you. Right, so what we're going to do is come down here and let's just have some fun with the new texture tool. And you can see what the way the texture tool now works is you've got the textures up the top here, so you can choose what we're going to go for. Let's just go here. Oh, that's a bit annoying. And there's oops, it's still just as fetchy as ever. Actually, that's, yeah, I mean it is changing the texture. Or is it? Okay, let me just. Maybe that wasn't the right texture. Let's. Because that's the same texture as we had before. What are we going to choose? Okay, let's just choose this. Maybe we'll get a better colour. Let's go blue. Yeah. So this is how the texture tool now works. I think it's pretty cool actually. I do like it. We could, yeah, it goes to show that you being able to colour and texture at the same time is pretty good. Although I get the feeling that maybe that there's some textures missing. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, guys. But well, then again, this is a hover vehicle, isn't it? So it's not. I think what we'll do is. Mess about a little bit, yeah. That's actually doing the whole. That's interesting. Why is it doing the whole blocks? No, that's the thruster, so it would do the whole block. Let's just get back to. I was absolutely certain I made some more. What do we call it? Oh no, I put them on, didn't I? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I think I'm quite like this new texture tool. I must admit, it's a lot more beneficial than, say, before when you had to do everything in 2 stages, and then when you changed your mind, you had to go back, especially if you wanted to change the colour, you had to go back, retexture, recolour. Just gonna drop that in there, like that, so we can make these white as well. I mean, it is definitely unfinished, guys. So I'm not pretending this is any way, shape, form, or description a finished version. But I actually quite like it, and then we could build up through here. As I say, my instinct would be to bring this up a bit and then make effectively a gun platform on the top here. It's got dark, so what I'm going to do, just to wind this video up, guys, is I'll drop the tent down. I mean, I don't want to do this in the dark, so I'm just going to sleep through the night. There we are, and we're going to jump into the ship and run this through, put the thrusters on, put a little bit of fuel, it's not that important. What we're going to do is, before we go out and just have a little bit of a test flight, I want to come forward. Maybe we'll have, of course, so you can see the new layout for blocks, in the sense that you can they're now sorted by category. From my perspective, this is absolutely fantastic, because one of my biggest problems was always sorting out the associated blocks. You can see we've got some nice new blocks here which we can use. Yeah, I mean, this was always one of my bigger issues, but I could never find anything because the way blocks were sorted out. Certainly a lot of blocks in here to do things with, but I'm going to be a bit traditional for the moment, and I'm just going to blocks. Never mind. Sorry about this. Actually, I quite like that way around, actually. As opposed to that way around. But I'm not going to waste your time, guys, changing that. I think I'm going to make any changes now. I think just retrieve those blocks. Grab those and I'll take the right one. Never. One, two, three. Just have one missing on that front there. Although I would guess that I would like to shape that in. So that would then fill that in. Of course, what we can do is just use this. That's interesting as well. It actually shows what the texture and the colour is down the sides. Oh, that's great. Again, it's something else that I mean, it's a nice quality of life change, which will make a pretty big difference. Yeah, really would need to shape that in. That there, I suppose we could. Get underneath and just so it looks a bit more joined up, and just take those off. When the spiders attack, they have a nice view underneath the ship. Just do that. I mean, there's no way this is ready for combat, but we've got no weapons on it to start with. But I think it will. As I say, just to finish this video off, guys, we'll have a little bit of a fly round and see how things go. Yeah, I think it works okay. I mean, it's not going to pick up that much. I mean, just to show you. I mean, we've only got, what was it, just over 2,500 storage in volume. Oh, come off it, guys. Okay. I suppose this is a fitting end that we're... And... I think that is a good way to finish the video. So this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. Yes, I accept that it's not the best, most brilliant ship around. Oh, go away. Trying to kill me from behind. But it's a template for what I want to do when in the full-blown Alpha 10 series, which will be starting next week when the devs drop the new update into the stable branch. I'll jump into that and to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on what that series is going to be about. We will be playing on hard. I won't be following the tutorial. It's going to be very much going out, because I had a couple of people asking me about finding resources on planets, so we're gonna go out and freelance it without the tutorial. And the other thing I'm going to do is start on the large initial planet, but the real focus is going to be on building bases and see if we can trigger some base attacks. But rather than build one big base, what I'm going to be planning on doing is maybe building several bases and letting them get attacked and see how good we can defend, because I would like to build a base in the water just to see, and maybe we'll try, as somebody suggested, building defensive trenches. I mean, another option would be to build up on top of a mountain. I mean, it's just going to be fun to see what we can do with various bases. I mean, an example here, guys. I mean, if I fly through here, I mean, we wouldn't be able to get up there with the HV. If you imagine if we could build a base flat on the top of that mountain and put a base right up on the top of the mountain with those very steep inclines, it could be, I mean, I doubt if I'll be able to get up here. Let's just see if I can do it. I mean, we are travelling a little bit light, so. But, I mean, if we could build a base right up the top here with views over the top. I mean, it's got a fairly flat top. And then build it effectively like a medieval fortress. I mean, that could be fun. And see, although this is a lot wider at the top than I thought it'd be, but we've got a kind of outcrop going that way. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the full-blown Alpha 10 update when it comes out next week. But until then, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.